Oh, yeah. Tomorrow, I'll be heading out the last day of my so-called vacation. I really enjoy myself. And I'm going to have to get back to the grind tomorrow. Just like the rest of you out there. But today we had a really, really good conversation. And this is why I want to have a clinical talk, right? We're going to get into this narcissism thing because narcissism is what's plaguing the world at large, okay? In so many ways, the self-servicing behavior is what I always talk about, but I want you guys to focus on that self-servicing behavior and realize how the dynamics of you doing or disservicing another person is what's going on, is what needs to be corrected, is what I'm pointing out. And I had a talk with a friend today. We were by the river and stuff, and it's nice out and stuff, and we're enjoying the days, and and I just contemplated this. I'm always talking about this stuff, from the aspect of who's doing it, right? The demoniac, narcissist fool who lives in the world amongst us all and who create all of the difficulties. It's self-servicing behavior, folks. Now we were getting really deeply philosophical today because we were going into all types of references of spirit and certain things, not necessarily religion, but we were talking about some deeply spiritual things, and how that understanding is a bigger building for something that's greater that humanity needs to see. And this is what I was talking about. We agreed on some things, but there was a main component, that the person didn't really understand, that self-servicing thing. And I try to make them understand about God's extension. This is what I'm talking about, folks. You guys don't realize that because I understand that God is actually real, okay? And this is partly spiritual. This will be a part clinical because they're both synonymous, folks. I keep telling you this. To an active mind, an active body in this world, in this material world. But God extends himself in you, and I try to make them understand that when we talk about extensions, we're talking about God being you. God is experiencing you as you. His grace allows you to believe that you're separate from him, that you're your own being, but you're really him acting as you. You get what I'm saying? So I gave her this example. Imagine your hands. I always use that. I think I've done another video and discussed this, but let's just use your hands for a minute. Your body, you control your body. You are you, okay? Your limbs are extensions. That word extension again, just like I use you an example of you being extended from God, right? God is everything. And the thing that makes him great is he can experience all of this, a dust grain to the biggest thing in the universe, and still be separate himself. That's what makes him God, folks. And he's real. We're just dust specks, but he actually has materialized in this material reality, and I have seen it. It's a fact. This is what I'm talking about. So I know his great power. But in that extensional thing, we'll use your hands or your feet or something. Imagine if you wanted to hold a cup because you wanted to get a drink of water, but your hands decided that they didn't feel like doing it at that moment. They wanted to look through a magazine or thumb through a magazine. So you had to sit there knowing that your hands are really you acting as your hands. You get what I'm saying? When you move your hands to sip that cup or to turn that magazine page, who's doing it? Is it your hands? Yep. Because if I recorded them on video, it would just be your hands doing that. But who's really your hands? It's you, right? It's you operating as your hands. This is how God's extension works. God's extension works as God operating as you, but his will allows you to believe you're separate. And in that will, a lot of you fall short because you think that you're separate from God, and that's the sin. So you say he's not real, but he's really you while you're saying he's not real. Do you get what I'm saying now, folks? This is why the world has fallen into the place it is. The self-servicing behavior, what I need, right? And being separate from that. But just imagine that if your hands operated in that fashion, right? You would see the wrong in your hands. And this is how we operate, right? We think we have free will and stuff, and we are, and that's God's grace, but that's what I'm trying to explain to you. That behavior is why we propel ourselves into situations that we hurt other people, and we're looking for something within ourselves, the self-servicing things. We're willing to hurt others and do whatever we need to do to enrich our feeling. It's just a feeling, folks, which means it's all illusion. See, when you've known things and you've seen things, you have a full understanding of reality. Not a complete understanding, because those things are above your pay grade. And like I told them, we were talking today, sometimes you have to leave things alone. The dimensional aspect of how you see your reality is true, and this is what you're doing, fine. But don't try to calculate things above your pay grade. They are what they are, right? If you know the sun, why are you concerned with how hot he can get? I could care less about the temperature that you scientists think that the sun gets. When I know him as a being, who cares? He can. You know what the correct answer is? You may have an answer, and that's bullshit. My answer would be as hot as the hell he wants to get. That would be my answer, and it would be correct, right? He gets as hot as he wants is the correct answer, and you're lucky he's getting as hot as he's kept it for you. Duties. So the self-servicing behavior within those duties is why we are not willing to do duties for each other in a world that doesn't have to be run where we're taking from other people. This is what I'm talking about, folks. Enough of you don't understand, and you're like cows being herded, and you feel the effects of these pains that the evils of the world put on you. But you talk about them, but you have no idea that you are effectively propagating a lot of the bullshit yourselves by idealizing that the realness of these things, that they can be possible when you're talking about people living in the system. Because I'll put it like this, I'm trying to get my words together. People living in a system and embracing the foolishness of that system. That's what I need to say. All of you do it. So I'm going to get ready, take it in for the evening. Tomorrow's my, I really had a good day today, folks. And is life really about, and that's what I was trying to really relate, is life really about just living your life to just work and be a slave or something? See, imagine just living your life for bigger concepts, living your life to enjoy and explore and look at the sky and enjoy and think that's beautiful and magnificent. Nature and all of these things. You guys are removed from that because I told you your consciousness is clouded. I say this all the time. You folks going over to my website, thinkbehavior.info, pick up my book, I Love Bad Behavior, right? You can pick it up on Amazon, like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for the compliments. The comments and compliments too. I appreciate those things, and your support means everything to me. You guys have a great day. And if you're on vacation or something, enjoy that vacation and understand why it's important to enjoy that. You see what I'm saying? We don't stop and smell the roses. We don't take time to experience the reality we're in and realize that it's all here for a purpose, folks. You don't understand these things. Y'all have a nice one.